The human body was designed to heal itself, and it will heal itself if you give it the right conditions. Now notice there was a little two-letter word in there, if. The human body will heal itself if you give it the right conditions. It needs those conditions. Every surgeon knows that he can stitch a wound together as part of the condition, but he cannot heal a wound. Every orthopedic surgeon knows that he can set a bone. Sometimes he just puts it in place and then it's set in a cast. Sometimes it needs to have pins and plates. What did they do before surgery? Pins and plates. They had their ways. There was a way to set it. There were herbs that helped with the healing. But all know that they cannot heal. The human body and the human body alone has the power to heal itself.
Did you know that around 50 million Americans suffer from autoimmune diseases, making them one of the leading causes of chronic illness? According to the American Autoimmune Related Diseases Association, AARDA, the prevalence of these conditions is rising, with over 80 different types identified, including rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, and multiple sclerosis. As we get older, our immune system naturally weakens, but autoimmune diseases occur when the body mistakenly attacks its own healthy cells. In recent years, researchers have made significant progress in understanding the triggers behind autoimmune conditions. So, what does this mean for you? If you or a loved one are struggling with an autoimmune disease, there are natural and science-backed ways to support your immune system and regain control over your health. How can you start healing your body and reducing inflammation? What foods should you eat or avoid? And what are the best natural strategies to manage autoimmune conditions effectively? Stay tuned as we dive into the latest research and practical steps you can take to start your journey toward healing and living a healthier, more vibrant life. As a thank you for joining me today, we're giving away 100 free copies of my best-selling book to subscribers. So if you haven't yet, hit subscribe, like this video, and comment why you want to win.
If that balance is crucial to the proper functioning of the wheel and thus affecting the car, how much more important is it for the human body to get this precision balance? We were designed to run according to precision balance. So then the next thing is, why has the balance been disrupted? Something has happened to the human body which directly affects the immune system, causing it to start attacking healthy cells in an autoimmune disease. So let's have a look at some of the names given to autoimmune diseases. Rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's disease, colitis, eczema, psoriasis. In fact, when I was investigating some of the autoimmune disease names, I thought, well, we're just about covering almost everything here. So I'd like to have a look by giving you an illustration. We had a man come to us with Crohn's disease. What's Crohn's disease? It's similar to gastritis, colitis, inflammation of the gastrointestinal tract. And he was told he had an autoimmune disease. And because he had an autoimmune disease and his immune system was attacking healthy cells, the result was that the cells of his gastrointestinal tract were breaking down, they were inflamed, and he needed to go on cortisone. Cortisone is a very strong drug, and it stops inflammation in the body, and even to the effect of stopping that immune system eating the healthy cells. Not completely. If someone has a kidney transplant, say, or a liver transplant, they will be on these drugs for the rest of their life because they don't want their body's own immune system attacking this newcomer, the new kidney or the new liver. Can they ever get off those drugs? I do not know. I never say never. I'm amazed at what human bodies are capable of doing. What the person must do is implement everything that is required for proper functioning and watch the body's response. If the body begins to respond well, it begins to work a little bit better, then you may be able to begin very slowly reducing the medication. Cortisone, steroids, they're very strong. The body gets addicted to them. and they cannot be stopped immediately. They have to be eased off very, very slowly. So I'm going to illustrate with a story. This man's name is Tom. Tom came to us, he was 40, with an autoimmune disease. He'd been diagnosed, and the symptoms of his autoimmune disease were Crohn's disease. What were his symptoms of this disease? He would go to the bathroom 10 times a day. His bowel movements were basically liquid. He said, everything just seems to go straight through me. He said, I get terrible cramping in my abdomen. He said, often I'm bleeding from the colon. He said, I don't know what to eat. He said, I've got to the point where I eat anything because it doesn't seem to matter what I eat. He said, the anti-inflammatories that I'm on, the cortisone that I'm on, it does help a little bit. But he said, my face is getting puffy, even though I'm underweight and thin, my body seems to be swelling. In the little book, Spiritual Gifts, Ellen White states that drugs never cure disease. She says they just change the form and location of. The body, and the body alone, is the effective healer. And if left to itself, oh, how much better could it perform its task? But that privilege is rarely granted it. She also states in other areas that a person's sick, they go to the doctor, he gives them a drug, now the body's got two evils to fight. What a drug can do, it can mask symptoms. Now notice what the writer says here, drugs never cure disease. Now I'm not talking about drugs in a crisis. Absolutely a drug can save a life in a crisis. We're not talking about a crisis. We're talking about disease. And look at the word disease. Out of ease, not at comfort. There's something wrong. And whenever there's discomfort, the body's speaking to us. It's actually saying, do something. Page 127 of the Ministry of Healing, Ellen White says, the only hope of better things is the education of people in the right principles. What she means by that is, most people don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. And since allopathy has been the main form of treatment of human beings for about the last 100 years, it's almost taken away our health responsibility from us and given it to someone else.
Autoimmune diseases affect millions of people worldwide, yet many still don't fully understand what they are or how they develop. These conditions occur when the immune system, which is supposed to protect the body from infections and harmful invaders, mistakenly attacks healthy cells and tissues. This can lead to chronic inflammation, pain, and a wide range of symptoms depending on which part of the body is affected. Some of the most common autoimmune diseases include rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, type 1 diabetes, multiple sclerosis, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, and psoriasis. Each of these conditions presents unique challenges, but they all share a common root cause, an immune system that has gone out of balance. Over the past few decades, cases of autoimmune diseases have been increasing at an alarming rate. Today, millions of people around the world are living with these conditions, many without a clear diagnosis or understanding of what is happening inside their bodies. In the United States alone, around 50 million people have been diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder. That means nearly 1 in 6 Americans is dealing with an immune system that is attacking their own body. Women are particularly affected, making up about 80% of all autoimmune disease cases. This pattern has puzzled scientists, leading to ongoing research on how genetics, hormones, and environmental factors influence the development of these diseases. The rise in autoimmune conditions has been linked to changes in modern lifestyles. Diets high in processed foods, exposure to environmental toxins, chronic stress, and lack of sleep have all been suggested as possible triggers. The immune system is highly sensitive to these factors, and when exposed to constant stresses, it can become overactive or dysregulated. This has led many experts to focus on the connection between gut health and autoimmunity. The gut houses nearly 70% of the immune system, and disruptions in gut bacteria or damage to the intestinal lining have been found in many autoimmune patients. When the gut barrier weakens, harmful substances can enter the bloodstream, triggering the immune system to react aggressively, sometimes against the body's own tissues. While genetics play a role, they do not determine fate. Many people with a family history of autoimmune diseases never develop them, while others with no genetic predisposition are diagnosed with these conditions. This suggests that lifestyle and environmental factors have a major influence on immune system behaviour. Toxins in food, water, and even personal care products can contribute to immune dysfunction. Pesticides, heavy metals, and chemicals in processed foods have been linked to inflammation, which is a key factor in autoimmunity. This has sparked growing interest in natural approaches to healing, with many people exploring ways to strengthen their immune systems through diet, detoxification, and stress management. The symptoms of autoimmune diseases vary widely, making them difficult to diagnose. Some people experience joint pain, fatigue, and digestive problems, while others may have skin rashes, neurological issues, or hormonal imbalances. Because symptoms can mimic other conditions, it often takes years for patients to receive a proper diagnosis. In many cases, people are told their symptoms are in their head or simply due to aging. This delay in diagnosis can make it harder to manage the condition and prevent further damage to the body. Early detection and intervention are key to slowing or even reversing the progression of autoimmune diseases.
Pure air. Pure air. Pure air is 79% nitrogen, so that's 21% oxygen, and there's a very small amount of carbon dioxide. In the city streets, it's not 21% oxygen. In fact, it is said in some city streets, it's even only 19% oxygen. So that can inhibit oxygen coming into the body. Also, posture. If we're slouched, if we're not breathing with our abdominal muscles, then that inhibits the oxygen uptake in the lungs. When we're dehydrated, our blood cells tend to clump together. Blood cells should look like this. When those blood cells go through the lungs, they pick up oxygen like a little parcel on the outside. How much oxygen does this clump pick up? Can you see the surface area that has been lost? All because a person is dehydrated. That's why water is essential. Our brain is a hydroelectric system. No hydro, no electricity. We need water. We must have water to heal. A person can get sick because they're dehydrated. There's a book called One of the Body's Many Cries for Water. Dr. Batman Geheldich is a Uranian doctor. He was a political prisoner for quite a few years. And the only thing he had was water. And he just kept giving people who were sick water and they all started getting better. It's actually a little bit more complicated than that, but that's the bottom line. He was so amazed at the response that he wrote many articles in medical journals, he gave talks at conferences, and he wrote the book, One of the Body's Many Cries for Water. He has two other titles to his book. He's not sick, he's thirsty. And the other title is Don't Treat Thirst with Medications. Many are sick from dehydration. We had a pathologist attend our program. He said, this is very interesting what you say on water. He said, we did studies on caffeine and we found 1 cup of coffee requires 5 glasses of water to make up for the dehydrating agents in that cup of coffee. Ooh. When you look at that, you realise many are sick because they're dehydrated. Many are sick because they're not getting pure air. Many are sick because they're not getting sunshine. The sun is not the enemy in the sky. The sun is the doctor in the sky. He is the healer in the sky. And the sunshine penetrates very, very deep into the human body. In fact, in the old days, nurses used to pull the beds out onto the veranda so the patients could get the sun. It would heal bed sores. If they had colds and flus, they would heal a lot quicker when the person got sunshine. Vitamin D is required for the body to heal itself. There are 2,500 receptor sites on the DNA for vitamin D. Many people are scared of the sunshine, Australians are well known to spend too much time in the sun, so skin cancer rates have risen. But now they've gone to the other extreme and they don't go in the sun at all. And if they go in the sun, they've got to have sunscreen on, they've got to have gloves on. In 2012, research started to come out that people who were wearing sunscreens, they doubled their risk of skin cancer because vitamin D protects us against skin cancer. Obviously, if you overdo the sun and you burn that skin again and again, it's going to start getting damaged. Well, it's damaged as soon as it's burned. But now we've gone to the other extreme of not having enough sun. There's something in the equation there. It's called common sense. It's not very common today. We've got to have common sense. Some people say, well, how much sun do you need? I say, well, how long is a piece of string? It depends on the colour of your skin. If you have blue eyes and light hair, you need to be a little bit more cautious. If you've got dark skin, you need a lot more sun. Vitamin D is essential. We need that vitamin D and we get it from the sunshine. That's the way God planned it. Stop taking anything into the body that will harm it. It is probably this list here too, from the temperance list, that is one of the biggest contributing factors to autoimmune diseases today. I used to say in my lectures that we're exposed to about 30,000 new chemicals every year.
Many of these chemicals enter the body through food, water, air, and even personal care products. The immune system, designed to protect against harmful invaders, now has to deal with toxins it was never meant to handle. Over time, this can overwhelm the body's natural defense system. When toxins build up, the body reacts by triggering inflammation. In small amounts, inflammation is a natural response that helps with healing. When it becomes constant, it starts attacking healthy cells. This is how autoimmune diseases develop. The immune system, confused by the overload of toxins, begins attacking the body's own tissues. Many people suffering from these conditions do not realize their daily habits are contributing to their health problems. Dehydration, lack of oxygen, and limited sun exposure weaken the body, making it harder to remove harmful substances. Without enough water, toxins stay in the system longer. Without oxygen, cells struggle to function properly. Without sunlight, vitamin D levels drop, increasing inflammation and making the immune system even more unstable. Modern diets also play a big role. Many processed foods contain chemicals the body cannot recognize. Preservatives, artificial colors, and flavor enhancers add to the toxic load. Pesticides on fruits and vegetables leave harmful residues. Even drinking water, in many cases, contains chlorine and other chemicals that stress the body. Stress makes everything worse. When stress levels are high, the body releases hormones that increase inflammation. The digestive system slows down, making it harder to absorb nutrients. Sleep quality suffers, and without proper rest, the body cannot repair itself. Lack of movement also has an effect. The lymphatic system, responsible for clearing out toxins, relies on movement to function properly. A sedentary lifestyle causes waste to build up, leading to more inflammation and a weaker immune system. The body has a natural ability to heal, but it needs the right conditions: clean air, pure water, sunlight, proper nutrition, and movement all work together to support the immune system. When these basic needs are ignored, diseases take hold. Many people spend years searching for a cure when the solution often starts with simple changes. Drinking enough water allows the body to flush out harmful substances. Breathing deeply improves oxygen levels, giving cells the energy they need. Getting sunlight strengthens the immune system and lowers inflammation. Eating fresh, natural foods reduces the toxic load. Healing does not have to be complicated. The body wants to be healthy, but it needs the right support. Instead of waiting for illness to appear, taking steps now can prevent disease before it starts.
Some say, I'm sick because it's in my genes. Genetics loads the gun. It's lifestyle that pulls the trigger. It's a very interesting study of genetics today. It's called epigenetics, the effect of our lifestyle, the food we eat, even our attitude on our DNA. In fact, one writer declared that parents are the genetic engineers of their children. That's why a couple, ideally, 2 years before they conceive, they detox, they get their body into good working order so they've got a really good gene pool to give through to their children. What's the DNA made up of? The outside strands is made up of polysaccharides, and polysaccharides simply means many sugars. And many sugars is basically in everything we eat. The crossword bands is made up of amino acids. And amino acids is a breakdown from the protein that we eat. So for a vegetarian, the protein is in your legumes, your nuts, your seeds, your grains. That's why God said the seed, it shall be for meat. So the crossword bands are made up of amino acids, and the glue that glues these two together is minerals. The food with the highest mineral content is our vegetables, and of the vegetable kingdom, the greens, the dark green leafy vegetables, they're the highest in minerals. Hippocrates, called the father of medicine, he said, let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. And he didn't know what I've shown you there. Why am I mentioning the DNA right now? Because there are many things today that are damaging that DNA. Now, if that DNA is damaged, then the new cell is not going to be made right. Our eye cells, they're remade every, I think, 2 to 4 days. The cells that line our gastrointestinal tract every 3 to 5 days. Every month, a new skin. Bones every 3 months. Liver, it's about every 6 weeks. We're constantly being remade according to the formula. So what's interfering with the formula? A lot of the things in these lists here. So let's make the list of what can directly affect the DNA chemicals. Chemicals, and they can come in many forms, in our food, in the air, there's so many ways. Also, what can affect the DNA is mold. All through nature you see that mold can splice into the DNA of a plant and grow itself through the plant. What can also affect the DNA is artificial electricity. So we'll call it artificial electromagnetic field. We are electrical people. And so it's common sense that artificial, or sometimes it's called dirty electricity, interferes with the way our body is running. I was reading of an interview with a breast surgeon. He said it's alarming the amount of young girls who are getting breast cancer today, and it's in the breast where they put their phone into their bra. You can even buy sports bras today that have pockets for phones.
Modern lifestyles have changed the way people eat, move, sleep, and interact with their environment. While technology and convenience have improved many aspects of life, they have also introduced new challenges for health. Many of these changes contribute to the rise of autoimmune diseases by weakening the body's natural defense systems. One major factor is the overuse of electric tools and devices. Phones, computers, and other electronics expose the body to artificial electromagnetic fields, EMFs. Some research suggests that long-term exposure to EMFs may interfere with the nervous system and disrupt cellular function. Many people also spend hours sitting in front of screens, leading to poor posture and shallow breathing. This reduces oxygen levels, making it harder for cells to function properly. Artificial lighting is another issue. Natural sunlight is essential for vitamin D production, which helps regulate the immune system. Many people spend most of their day indoors under artificial lights, missing out on the full spectrum of sunlight. Blue light from screens also affects sleep by disrupting melatonin production, making it harder for the body to repair itself at night. Poor sleep increases stress levels, weakens the immune system, and contributes to chronic inflammation. Diet has changed dramatically in recent decades. Processed foods, fast food, and packaged meals often contain preservatives, artificial flavors, and unhealthy fats. Many of these additives increase inflammation and disrupt gut health. The gut plays a key role in immune function, and when it is damaged by unhealthy foods, the immune system becomes more prone to mistakes, such as attacking its own cells. Sugar consumption has also increased, feeding harmful bacteria in the gut and making autoimmune conditions worse. Chemical exposure is another concern. Household cleaning products, beauty products, and even clothing contain chemicals that can be absorbed through the skin. Pesticides and herbicides in food add to the toxic load. Many of these chemicals act as endocrine disruptors, interfering with hormones and increasing the risk of immune system disorders. Lack of movement also plays a role. Many modern jobs require sitting for long hours, reducing circulation and slowing the body's natural detox processes. Exercise helps move the lymphatic system, which removes waste and toxins. Without movement, toxins build up, increasing inflammation and the risk of autoimmune diseases. The combination of artificial environments, poor diet, chemical exposure, and inactivity puts constant stress on the body. While technology has made life easier in many ways, it has also created new health challenges. Understanding these factors can help people make choices that support their immune system and overall well-being. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content on health and wellness. Let us know in the comments, what small change will you start making today? Stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next one.